So yesterday on my Instagram and on my Facebook page, I made a post about play and using play in training and toy skills that are useful for dogs. And I had quite a few comments and questions from people. So I'm just gonna make a whole YouTube video kind of answering some questions and clarifying things a little bit more, talking about play and toy skills with your dog. So play is a really great reinforcer for your dog. It's something that's different from food. Everybody, especially with pet dogs, always asks, when do I stop using treats? How long do I need to use food for in training? Blah, 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 blah. Well, you need to have some way to reward your dog, right? And so play is another way that we can reward our dogs without using food. Play is only a good, useful reinforcer if your dog knows how to play with you. So the first thing we like to do with a dog is teach them how to play with us. They need to know to get the toy not our hands, to let the toy go when we ask, to pick up the toy and bring it to us if I throw it, how to play tug. All of those kinds of things are skills that we need to cultivate with our dogs. So with that said, let's talk about the first step of using play in training, and that is having useful toys for your dog. So the first sort of play or toy game that I teach my dogs is tug. I teach them how to play tug with me. So when we're playing tug with a dog, especially with a puppy, you wanna make sure you have the right toys. So you wanna stick with something like this. It doesn't have any appendages. There's no dangly bits that my puppy can grab if I have this in my hands. So I'll show you a few different options for toys that I like to use with my dogs when I'm teaching them how to play.
So if you have a dog that really likes tennis balls or playing with a ball, then look for some kind of ball on a rope type toy. This is a braided fleece toy from Mabel's Tug Toys on Etsy. This is another similar option. This one is from Twisted Bliss Toys, and it's a little raspberry kind of rubber squishy thing on the end of it. This one's a little bit smaller, so if you have a smaller dog, this would work well for you. This one is a much larger ball on a rope type of toy, so the ball is in this fleece braided thing. It's got a nice fluffy end of it. I cannot remember where I got this one, but as you can see, like compared to my hand, it's really big. So if you have a bigger dog, you want to have a bigger toy, obviously. This is another ball on a rope type of toy. This one's from Tug Away. As you can see, it's just a chuck it ball, and it's on kind of a bungeed, this is like an elasticy bungee kind of handle. This one's also pretty long, so it would be pretty good for a bigger dog. You can also, of course, DIY your own toy. This is just an old fleece blanket that I cut into strips and braided up and made into a tug toy. You can find instructions on how to do the toy with the handle online pretty easily. I will link one in the description if you want to make your own toy. Now, if your dog is not used to toys, you might want to opt for something like this. This has a Velcro pouch in it. You can put food in here and then Velcro it up, and it has this nice sheepskin kind of covering, so your dog can smell the food that's in here, and this can, you can drag it around, and this can kind of help encourage them to start playing with a toy. This is also from Tug Away, but there are other companies that make things similar to this. And one of the other games that I'm going to talk about is a two-toy game, or people call it two-ball, but I am not using balls. I'm going to use these tug toys. These are from Twisted Bliss as well, and you want to, for the two-toy game, you want to make sure you have two toys that are the same. If your dog is really particular, make sure they're completely identical. Same colors, same everything. These are obviously, they're the same toy, but they're not the same color, but for my dog, that doesn't really matter.
Okay, so as I'm sitting down editing this video, I realized I completely forgot to include why I'm opting for toys that have a handle, why I'm going for these ball on a rope style toys. And the whole reason for that is I'm working on teaching my dog to play with me. I'm working on teaching them to pick up a toy and bring it and put it in my hands and play with me. So that's gonna be really hard to do if my dog can put the toy entirely in their mouth and I can't grab it. Especially if your dog is a toy thief where they take a toy and run, then you don't wanna be using just a plain ball or something like that, because if the ball is in my dog's mouth, I can't grab it. And I'm trying to work on teaching my dog to come to me and play with me, so that's gonna be a lot easier to do if I have a toy that has a handle on it that I can grab and hold on to, and the toy can be in my hands and in my dog's mouth at the same time. So if you're working on teaching your dog to be a lot better about playing with you, about bringing the toy all the way to you, about putting the toy in your hands and playing with you, then you want to opt for something with a handle, a ball on a rope style type of toy.
I have a much more in-depth video on introducing tug that I'll link below. But the general gist is you get the dog going on the toy. Drag it around, make it really fun and exciting, and once they're actively tugging on it, hold the toy really close to your body and hold it still. Once your dog spits it out, tell them to tug, present the toy, and let them get it again. And you're gonna repeat doing this until your dog is reliably letting go of the toy every time you stop moving it.
Good.
When I'm first introducing this game to a dog, when I present the toy and ask them to tug again, I usually drag the toy away from the dog to encourage them to get up and chase after it again. Once the dog is really good at the game and they're reliably going after the toy when you tell them to tug, instead of dragging it, I just present the toy out, usually to the side of my body like I did there, and invite them to tug that way.
Down. Tug. Good.
To start introducing a release cue, you're just going to tell your dog to drop it or drop, whatever word you want to use, out, doesn't matter, right when you hold the toy still, because you know that they're going to let it go, and that's how you can introduce a release cue.
Drop. Down. Tug. Good boy.
To work on the dog targeting the toy to your hands, when they're actively pulling and they're pulling away from you, like Chester is there, let go of the toy. And they should slingshot back up at you, and you can grab the toy and engage them back in a nice rousing game of tug.
Good. Good.
To start building in a little retrieving, I will start to drop the toy and then present my hands down. Sometimes I'll clap my hands a little bit to encourage the dog to come back to my hands. But I'm going to drop the toy pretty close to me and encourage my dog to get it. And they should, if you've been really working on your tug skills and playing with the toy, with your dog, with the toy in your hand, they should pick up the toy and immediately start targeting your hands.
Drop. Down. Tug. Good.
Okay, so this is the game where you're going to need two identical toys, and you're only going to want to try this game if your dog can pick up a toy and bring it to your hands. So, get your dog engaged in the first toy, get them to tug a little bit, ask them to spit it out, and then throw the toy. And when they get back to you with the toy, you're going to break out the other toy that you have tucked under your arm or in your pocket, and you're going to make that one super, super fun. Bang it on the ground, drag it around. If it squeaks, make it squeak, make it really fun and exciting. And when they spit the toy out, you throw that toy. And you're going to repeat doing this over and over and over until your dog is really, really good about picking up a toy, bringing it to you, and spitting it out.
Good boy. Drag it. Good. Drop. Get it. Go ahead, get it. Go ahead, get it. Good, get it. Good, drop. Get it. Good, get it. Get it, get it. Good boy. Get it. Good job. Get it.